Yo, what is going on, everybody? The final NFL multi-game slate of the season. Obviously, we're in the conference championship final four. We'll see who gets to the Super Bowl. Let's bet the slate. Hold on, I'm gonna get a pro out. So, of course, we're very close to game time here. And we know that at this point, the markets are going to, I can't spell champion. Markets are at this point going to be, of course, like a lot sharper, not going to be a ton of EV all around. Um, that being said, we understand that. We know that that's going to be the case, right? It's the NFL playoffs. These lines have been out for 7 days. It's going to happen in less than 3 hours. With that being said, because we're in such an efficient time in the market, I do think there'll absolutely still be time to find some value on some props. Even if it's not showing some EV like in the market, we will find some market EV, which we'll run through really quickly here. But we'll definitely be able to find some bets that we like that we just think are off based on where they're sitting right now and how they've been shaped throughout the course of the week. So we'll dive into some of those shortly. But let's take a look quickly at the EV screen too. We got Cooper Kupp alternate 4 receptions showing some EV at Hard Rock there. Looks like a good bet, honestly. Going to be tough to get 4 catches for him, but from market price, enough said. Also, their baseline of -2.5. This is a great like ladder spot for Kupp. Clearly, if you have a Hard Rock with both of these rungs here, both of them showing EV. RJ Harvey under receptions, 3.5. At the score here, which is ESPN, as we know, pretty good to market. I mean, 129 bookmaker. I'm surprised that it's I don't think this is as good as 6.6%, but this is an interesting bet here. It looks like it does have some good EV, even with bookmaker not being included. I mean, -129 to -110, still pretty good for Harvey. Rush attempts under for Ramondre as well. Now, this is one where I'm not really in love with because, like, while it's gonna be tough to think about the splits between Trevion and Ramondre as it's been all season long. The Denver's run defense has been really poor, especially in the back half of the season, especially now when it matters. And Josh McDaniels is going to run the football regardless. That's something we've learned about him his long time as an OC, especially this year. I think we've seen it too, where he's going to establish the run regardless, and either get out of his way or don't. But they're going to keep pounding the rock. So 12.5 for Stevenson. I don't love conceptually matchup wise. A lot of 365 receiving yards under. I mean, definitely a different story there, of course, but this is also intriguing. Really not a ton of market width though, so I'm not going to pull trigger on that. All right, some other low 1%, but this is a good start for the day. If you have Hard Rock, this Cooper Kupp mini ladder is a must. These 2 bets I'm actually passing on despite the perceived EV there because I do think that these are, like, according to like my thoughts on this game, I actually don't like either of those. So gonna leave that alone. Let's take a look at the touchdown filter quickly and see if there's anything popping up. Just Colby Parkinson at 4-1, which to me is honestly a bit interesting. I mean, it's Hard Rock only. Just looking at the market there, I mean, I would definitely bet this Colby Parkinson at 4-1 at Hard Rock. So there's 3 Hard Rock bets for any Hard Rock bettors out there. But let's go back to the games. Let's talk about them holistically, and then let's again do some ball knowledge, craft up some of the promo bonuses and whatnot, and be done and move on there. So I'm going to start off with the Seahawks Rams game here because this is the game I do have more conviction on, and we'll bet it right this second. Go over to the spread here. Make sure we're finding the best price. I just want to check the market again as well. So we have the 2.5 seems to be the consensus price. 2 -120 if you're fishing for the Seahawks side, though -110, 365. That is definitely the best in market there. But as you can tell, if you can't tell already, I'll spoil the news for you. I am interested in the Seattle Seahawks laying the points here. I like Seattle. Looking at the total on a different screen just to see, it looks like it's moving a little bit as well, but just confirming the best price I can get here. Now, this is -2.5 at Novig, which is actually better than the -2, -120 at MGM. If you can get that -2.5, -101 at Novig, it's 2.5 here. Yeah, a lot of liquidity there. That's the best price. But I guess I'm betting this on MGM at 2.5 at 105. That is better than 120, especially because it's not the keyest number of all. So just checking this other odds screen to quickly confirm from pricing, 130 best odds on the money line. It's also Novig. Let's check the money line too. Maybe there is a better bet on the money line at this point. Let's just take a look at the pricing. Not enough liquidity here on this 130 to call this the price to bet at. If you want that 138, of course, definitely take that. But 464, around 133. So, yeah, 2.5 it is. I'm betting this now at MGM. Let's confirm that. Spread. Whoops. Accident. Misclick. There we go. I'm betting on the Seahawks. At this point, I am convinced for whatever reason that like the Darnold becoming a pumpkin. Like I know we had a 4-pick game against the same team earlier this year. Obviously, these teams know each other intently. Get the narratives out of here at this point. Oh, minus 104 at FanDuel. That was 108 if I remember correctly. Maybe I was looking at the other side, but this is the best price. Assuming there was nothing that I missed there. All right, I am in. Obviously, this game being later, there is time for the market to move in different directions, and maybe this is a good line that ends up being this is a bad line. Time will tell. It's the game we play every time we play. Nothing new and exciting here, but this is what I'm rocking with. Seahawks minus 2.5. I'm on Seattle. Have a couple of boosts to use. There's a parlay boosts we can use across the entirety of the slate. There are touchdown boosts we'll use as well. Surprisingly, not as many boosts as I would have liked to have seen on the slate today. I feel like they're not having a crazy promo. Like I get like probably why they're probably getting so much handle and they're doing whatever they can. All of these recreational books. I mean, everybody in their mind is betting some NFL, as we know how the NFL goes, but not in love with the promos. At least I'm getting in New York in my account, so I guess that's also as a caveat. But Seahawks, I just bet it minus 104. Yes, I know it's game day. I know limits are high. With that being said, I think we could still be getting it on a good price here, and I do think Seattle wins, and I'm not scared about the Darnold turning back into a pumpkin, though that could be famous last words right now. Now, as far as this Patriots-Broncos game, this is my take, right? If you're sitting here right now with the Broncos plus 4.5, Broncos plus 5.5 ticket, that's sick. Sitting here with the Patriots minus 2 ticket, that's sick. Depends where you got in when you obviously heard the Bo Nix news. Things move quickly. Things been up for an entire week, but the consensus thought has been that it was an over-aggressive move. Like how much to the spread is Bo Nix worth and how much to the spread is Jarrett Stidham worth in terms of a downgrade from Nix? Obviously, it is a downgrade. Nobody debating that. However, how much of a downgrade is absolutely debatable and is definitely not guaranteed, hence all this market back and forth. I think that at this point now, it is a Patriots bet or bust. I'm not betting the Patriots. I'm not betting the Broncos either. The numbers, I think we missed the boat on the Broncos. But what I'm trying to say right now is that we're at a point in the market where we've seen it go in both pendulums. This game is in 2.5 hours. If you wanted Denver, you had your chance. If you want New England now, you wait and you try to find an entry point at market. If you're not, you're just betting this for fun, you're trying to do some market theory, looking for best odds, etc. Like you're not actually like at this point, which most people are. I'm sure even like pro bettors at this point are on this a bit too, where it's like, I love this team. My numbers love this team. I think they're going to win. We're just taking a bet. Unless you still strongly feel that way and you kind of want to fade everything. Like, yes, you'll be on the sharp side, quote unquote. You're going with the way the money's moving with Denver here, but obviously you're missed out the number, so it's not sharp at all. You're just chasing steam at bad prices. Long-winded way of saying, though, I think that where the market's gone is a New England bet or bust at this point. I don't think we're done seeing this move. I think that we'll probably see one more wave max because there just was a big wave move. Let me pull up the odds right here. Now, we're only seeing from this price. I dropped to 105, but as you can see right here, we're up to 210,000 limits at circa on this first game on the spread. Pennies at 100K. No info on bookmaker, Kalshi. Over $855,000 worth of liquidity on just that 116 price. So curious where the rest of the market is. But long story short, that's my thesis here. But again, there are some things that I like, and let's look into some of these props and let's see what we can find. Now, this is MGM only, but this is one where I kind of like. It's Kyle Williams, the rookie receiver. Now, he's a deep ball threat, not very used very heavily. We know that the Patriots in general distribute the wealth. They, so it's all loading here. They distribute the wealth. They run the football. They get their tight ends involved. Drake May runs the football. Like they're not pressed, or they are hard pressed to find, spare targets, and like a lot of things are schemed up for certain people. But Kyle Williams has been a guy they go to, however, down the field predominantly. But his reception, only one spot, plus 165. Like I'm seeing, 170 at 365. Novik at 140 here for the over means I guess it came in on the under, but still, price wise, plus 165. We're talking about one catch. Obviously, that's like not a lot, but again, let's even just look at FTN because I know that some of you guys, I'm sure you've been watching, you've seen Kyle Williams. You're like, okay, like I know he exists. I know he's done some cool things, etc. But I'm curious what his snap percentage has been. This is just full season. I've cumulated every player. So obviously you have QB. Then you have their number ones. Matt Collins also coming back. Kyle Williams getting 27% of snaps, which is actually higher than Pop. I would not have expected that. Just check out the postseason. Curious what his tree looked like last week. Obviously only, a very small sample size of one game in the postseason. 2 games, what am I seeing here? Why is Drake May at 1 game? Hunter Henry 2, Rhamondre 2. Am I dumb? Broncos obviously had the bye. The Patriots took care of Houston, and they took care of the Chargers. So something off with that one right there. Maybe it's receiving because he had that one target that he's showing up. Regardless, Kyle Williams, 36.6%, so still not a ton, still more than Pop. But this is without Matt Collins in the mix. So maybe Kyle Williams is not the best look. However, I do just feel like the 165 is probably worth a sprinkle on the over, but I'm not fully convinced as much as I was anymore. And let me actually just even confirm. I'll just pull up Rhamondre Stevenson quickly because I want to look at him as well. But I also do want to confirm here, is Matt Collins on the roster? I saw he was working back. Yes, he's activated from injury reserve. I thought so. Okay. So even if he is banged up, obviously it's the end of the season here. He's going balls to the wall trying to get a ring, unless he actually physically hurts himself again, which is obviously possible, re-aggravates some stuff as well. He's going to be suited up here. But I want to look at, let's see, go back to rushing attempts and yards. So I think this market was probably hammered toward the over, hence we're seeing the under. Showing us EV, and that is true. We have 12.5 at 120 on Novik. So attempts is not where it's at, but who cares about attempts if you're getting the most out of your attempts? I'm curious, what's his yards prop at now? Okay, Andre. Rhamondre, we're sitting at rushing yards 48.5. So nothing great to market. This is more of a do you think he's capable of getting there? This at 125 at MGM, and the rest of the markets there at 49.5 at FanDuel. Okay, so I'm gonna add this to a bet slip because we're definitely gonna be. This is one of the parlay legs. This is what's popping, brother. I feel like it's been a week since I've streamed, and because of how it was toward the end of the year, which was like holidays, it was like just streaming like once or twice a week. I feel like I haven't done this in ages, but glad to be back. How do you feel about that Texas pick you made, and what do you think about Austin Hooper rec yards? So, yeah, let me add Stevenson to this bet slip right here quick, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the Texans. And I just do want to preface my thoughts on my Texans bet. Like, bro, I lost bets. Not the first time, not the last time. Never be the first, never be the last. But analysis-wise, because obviously it is impactful to what is, going on with the rest of the playoff scene. So I took the Houston Texans to win the AFC South and the AFC back at the end of November. Okay, so I got in early on the train, lost the South, unfortunately, lose the AFC as I lose to the Patriots last week. I doubled down. I bet some Texans plus this points because I felt pretty confident. They get smoked and embarrassed. In terms of thoughts, bro, like, what are you going to do? I thought Houston, I got an amazing price on Houston. For the future, I thought that they could, get some things going. I thought the matchup did favor them, but then you have CJ Stroud, play one of the worst games we've seen, and this Texans to be a poorly coached team, which we know with D'Amico. Like, yes, he's made the playoffs, and yes, they've won a couple playoff games, but like he's been a bad in-game coach. So I took a stab in a field that I thought was weak on a team that I thought had a chance. They lost, and now I'm sitting here with no tickets. And yeah, I mean, honestly, like it's I've lost bets before, and I will absolutely lose them again. So no real thoughts. But let's look at Hooper receiving yards for you. I did not expect the full blown domination, I guess, clearly, but what are you gonna do? Lost a bet. Does not impact our fantastic season whatsoever, losing 1.15 units or whatever it was on the spread, and then another like 0.3 in futures. That's never bad, but 9.5. Looking at Hooper, okay, so 102 at FanDuel, 101 at Novig. I'm interested because this is a one catch kind of situation. Let's go back to the playoff snap share so far. 41%, 4 targets, only connecting on one, and that target did go for 14 yards. Let's see what his average depth of target has been just in that game. It was 11.8. So this is a situation where I like Cooper because you are betting on a bit of a regression to the mean on the stat that only one catch of 4 targets. Like you would expect that to be a lot higher. His ADOT has been over this number. So you're hoping right now that this is a one catch and get over. That being said, I just quickly go to not postseason, but I think that I love that. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna add this to the lay right now. We have just check confirm prices, but rushing props. Stevenson 50 plus is the best price. And then regular season, just curious what the A dot is. I'm not expecting a high A dot, of course, for Austin Hooper. 8.8, but just was curious. So you are hoping that there is one, maybe 2 catches going his way. It's up to you, but I do think that from a price perspective, we're going to be getting EV with the boost. I'm willing to ride this at 10 plus for Mr. Hooper here. Let's rushing yards, go to receiving yards. Eddie was popping. In your opinion, what betting tools very good projections are pretty accurate? Better odds. Better odds is great. I would say they're very accurate. They also focus on, they have a lot of CBB game lines, MLB, NFL, college football. Obviously, those things are ending. Baseball starting. Better odds has EV, arbitrage, and projections, which is your question. And the founder of the company, I know him really well. Professional better. Projections are OP. I would say from straight projections without over flooding, because there's a difference, and I guess I'll call this out quickly. Like if you're projecting quite literally every single game, every single prop, like a prop finder, player props.ai, like obviously you're going to have some good times, you're going to have some bad times. With that being said, like player props AI, for example, I know that their founder does a great job of educating within their Discord. Like, yeah, you're going to see, probably some crazy EV, but how to actually nuanced take a nuanced look through what the model says and what bets it's recommending, and not just blindly tailing. So I think that player props AI does an amazing job for that, and I also think that better odds, because they are focused on game lines. They definitely want to get props going. I think they just weren't able to get it running. I'm sure it's not easy. So no shade to the team there, but that's the long-winded answer. I think that better odds and player props AI, but there are nuances to both platforms. Nothing I think from projections that I know of is a tail everything, don't ask questions, don't think twice. I have not found anything that is that worth it. There's needs to be a bit of nuance and a bit of science, of art, I should say, with the science that comes with the projections. But let me add this Hooper 10 plus. Hopefully that's helpful for you though, bro. I need to listen, brother. That's teach their own, brother. I got nothing to say on that. So I feel that that's a decision that I guess it's the beauty of being an adult with free will. It's something like that you don't want to rock with. That's entirely up to you. All right, so we got 2 legs here. Stevenson and Hooper. Let's go check the EV screen and see if there's anything we can slot in quickly. The promo on FanDuel that I'm probably going to be using right now is the just 30% profit boost. Then we have the 25% for anytime touchdown. We'll get that going, and of course, we'll bet some first touchdowns for this. Stevenson under attempt still showing. Those two Cooper Kupps at Hard Rock are gone. So hopefully you guys are the ones who snagged that up, though. I'm sure somebody else saw it. Whittington, Jarrett Stidham attempts. This is, I guess, a good. I want to say case study. That's not the right word, but worth looking. Now, you've heard me say this a billion times. You guys are all bettors as well, so I'm sure you guys do know this and think about this and watch other bettors who talk about sports and betting. But obviously, with Stidham and the lack of data, we're in a situation where you're betting for variance, right? Like if you're going to bet some Stidham, barring thinking a number was like terribly bad when opened, you're going to want to look at some alternates. I would assume the alternates have been hammered into shape. I mean, I'm not even going to say I assume. I would say I would bet that they are. With that being said, still just curious to see what they're looking at because, again, this New England defense is absolutely overrated. However, Jarrett Stidham, it's the conundrum here. So we're seeing Stidham at least get getting the 200-yard respect. He is okay. So at least his line is being propped at the 200s, and I say that in a little bit in jest as for him. I mean, it's showing him some respect that they're giving him the 200 plus. We know how many backups and quarterbacks and whatnot come in. Even some starters we've seen coming in with lines of like 188.5, even lower for like Shedeur and some other people. But see, 208.5. That is the best price. I mean, 207.5 is what bookmakers standing on for. And now, of course, FanDuel 110, Novig FanDuel 112, Novig 110. Circus at 209.5. I hate to be that guy because we know that I think this is like a not even a thought. I'm not going to lie to bet that over in the lay. And of course, we're talking about using parlays and boosting and figuring it out. I'm not saying straight bet like hammer. We all know it's a big difference here, but that Stidham, I think, is like kind of a must. So for me, I'm a straight bettor. I don't really like the parlay. What do you recommend for me? What are some accurate projections? Like I would still go back to Better Odds. Like Better Odds has no parlay straight bet. There is no difference there. So Better Odds is entirely up to you. And I guess I will say, like, I know I mentioned that like there is no nuance. You can't just like go in and tail. And like I'll give you like an example, right? Like Better Odds, as far as I know, at least as recently, it's not like they have a feed that is like automatically updating the news every minute. So when a lineup comes out, it's automatically updated. It'll get updated, I think, within the next like 30 or so minutes here. But like say you check a line, you see crazy EV, but you also see that it hasn't been updated just yet. That's where I'm saying then that's where it's not an automatic tail, automatic back, automatic, like, let's just rip this. There is some like contextual things you need to like, it says it on the site, like when the last time they updated it was. So you can make sure that you're seeing lines that are actually like representing the current state of the projections in the market. So what do I recommend for you? I would honestly say Better Odds because as a straight bettor, one, you have the projections, and two, they also have the EV, the arbitrage, the also DFS features as well, which as a parlayer, not massive for you as not a parlayer. But yeah, I'm going to stand on that answer. I think it really is Better Odds for a straight bettor who wants accurate projections. And that tool also has other straight betting plus EV winning, I won't say formulas per se in there, but they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Stidham 2 passing tutties. Now, this is a lot more enticing at a plus chicken price here. I'm gonna do a quick Google search. I'm just curious. Like, I know he hasn't played a lot at all, but like, has Jarrett Stidham ever thrown for 2 touchdown passes? I'm gonna say probably. I mean, obviously, like in college, but Jarrett Stidham career NFL passing 2 TDs and 3 interceptions. So no, the answer is actually no. Hold on. I don't want to pull it up on this computer because I know it will like lag, and I don't want to lag anything. But this year didn't play shit. Last year didn't play shit. 2023, that's when we know. No, never had 2 touchdown passes in 2023. In 2022, he did. He had a 3 TD game against the Niners in OT. Also 2 picks. So Stidham does have a 2 passing tutty game in his life. that we're gonna have to go back. Anytime, brother. Anytime. Really appreciate you being on stream and asking the questions, bro. Glad to help out. So 2 passing touchdowns. So this is, to me, is criminal. Honestly, the under at this point would probably be the better look. And we also can, of course, add some legs from the second games. Could be a mixed. It's just kind of what's been going on here. DraftKings. Let's see the boost. I forgot what I opted into. I opted into everything this morning. 2 conference championship game boosts, $5 each. A Prava boost, 3-leg parlay. All right, so all-purpose boost. So we're probably gonna use our boost honestly on first touchdowns and just have some fun there. We also get a 30% boost on a touchdown leg. All right. So we have the sauce here. Let's finalize this FanDuel lay with the 2 odds legs that we have. Let's get 2 more legs in there and call it. I'm not going to be adding that Stidham. Instead, though, I do want to look at some potential Seahawks. I don't want to SGP fully. Like, obviously, I'm running an SGP, but you guys know what I mean. I want to make it SGP plus, give it some class. I like Kenny Walker receiving yards. That's looking like a good price to market. I'm adding that. So Kenny Walker receiving over 20.5. Player hate receiving yards. OU over 20.5 for KW. And we need one more leg to get to our beautiful 10-1. And looking at FanDuel EV, like Cooper Kupp touchdown has some EV, but not really. Let's see. I mean, honestly, we can rip some like Denver money line. That would be fun in this lay. Or we could just rip Seattle. I mean, we're on Seattle. This will just like double up what we have. We're gonna get our 10-1 for fun using our boost. I'm just gonna rip Seattle. So Ken Walker over 25 receiving yards, Seahawks money line. Hooper 10 receiving yards, Ramondre Stevenson 50 plus rush yards. That's a max boost. All right, beautiful. So that's FanDuel boost. Done, locked and loaded. We have a touchdown boost on DK, some other shit on DK. We're probably not going to use both boosts. I don't need 8 SGPs for these 2 games. We have a full slate. Yeah, we'll dabble and we'll fuck around with our 20 other straight bets, but that is not the case today. As we know, also got to figure out my stream schedule for the rest of the year right now, with the rest of the year for moving forward in this year with NFL obviously being done. Now Ryan and I are going to keep our Tuesday streams up. Just had some logistical problems this week. I think I'm going to stream 3 days a week until baseball, then reevaluate. And boy, do I have what was I going to say? And I definitely want to find a good way to start getting like some more fun baseball stuff too for the streams. Just some more data that we can like look through on stream and find more winning bets. Keep on keeping on. All right, TV. Let's go back to the EV screen. Let's find a touchdown. I mean, we have a touchdown boost on FanDuel and the 3-leg on DK. Now, again, I doubt that we're going to find any serious EV, as you see right there, but it doesn't mean we can't kind of manufacture our own. Okay. Player prop. Anytime TD. So FanDuel boost 10%, DraftKings boost. We'll find both. All right, we can go crazy down the board. I mean, we're gonna definitely get ourselves some EV with the boost. I mean, Hooper at 8-1. I do want to definitely boost something that is EV to Circa though. Like Drake and May is so interesting. I mean, also, I was gonna say so is Knicks. Obviously, Knicks isn't playing, but like conceptually, Knicks is 2-1 here at Hunter Henry. Obviously, highly targeted. First time really looking at prices in a while. What happens? This is called Pick the Odds, brother. Pick the Odds is picktheodds.app. It is a website, works very well on the phone. They do have a mobile app, but that's mostly for notifications. The just picktheodds.app on your phone, on your computer. It's an EV arbitrage, professional level sports betting tool. And you can try it for free in the description. Kyle Williams, like we talked about here, just curious 10 to 1. I mean, at that point, I don't think it's worth it. I love me some Matt Collins. We've done a great job of backing Matt Collins at the right time this year. I kind of want to be in on our boy, but he's coming off the injury, man. And Circa, Penny, and Bookmaker, none of them have the stones to put up some prices for us to deviate from there. So Matt Collins is not our boy. Ramondre at 135 will just boost that and make it easy. With that being said, in the light, in the DK touchdown light, I'm adding Ramondre. You guys already know I like Ramondre for the obvious reasons we've spoken about for a good part of these 30 minutes here. But I'm ripping Ramondre, adding him to the DK slip for boost there. RJ Harvey also EV in both spots. Taking 5K a pop at Penny at Harvey. Circa 130. Now, this is obviously good to market. I just feel like it seems too good to be true in a sense. With that being said, I understand why prices are like this. Playoff game, spoke about it a billion times. That's interesting. So I'm going to actually add Harvey to the DK because we're getting EV to market on both even prior. Travion is too. I mean, the 3 running backs, if we just did Travion, RJ, and Stevenson, I'm just curious what that would pay because I have to check now. That would pay 20 to 1 pre-boost. And with the boost, 26 to 1. I don't think that's a great bet necessarily, but just curious. But we can find another one for this game. Stevenson for 2 with Eric Sauber TD. Yo, that's the kind of creativity, Wolfcado, that we need in this chat. That kind of next level big brain thinking. That is what I love to say. And I'm about to put that in a slip in a second because we're just too close here. I want to finish up this DK slip. Tay Adams. Tay Adams is interesting. I mean, obviously what he was doing on the goal line this year in the end zone is not sustainable. That being said, we're talking about 2 games left, and that is going to be EV to market with the boost there. So Tay is definitely on the table there. JSN as well for the same kind of reasons. KW is honestly the answer because we're getting so much chalk. It's good to market. We are deviating from the most known guys because, of course, Charbonnet is hurt. That was the key point there. Puka is 135, so we're not getting the value on Puka. The value still is on actually Ramondre. So this is going to be, I did not expect a chalk lay in a sense, but that is exactly what we're ripping with here. KW brings us to 1140 for Ramondre, Harvey, and KW. Probably the least exciting slip ever. This is the equivalent of like a regular slate, just ripping Bijan, Gibbs, and CMC. Obviously, with these teams, low totals, that's not the anticipated to be a ton of scoring, but that's still funny to me. But I'm in. That's it. Plus 1140 with the boost. Ramondre, RJ Harvey, KW. Now we have a few more boosts. We have touchdown stuff. Let's look at the first tutties. This is easy here for us. We know what our process is looking like here. Cash last week on Hawks first TD. D/special team boys. Anything can happen. That's my boy Wolf Kyle. That's the kind of, again, inspiration we need. Anything can happen. We bet so much EV and we make so many good decisions that we are allowed to fuck around and find out on stuff like Stevenson 2 touchdowns with Eric Sauber TD and some other fun stuff. And our first TDs have been epic this year. Like, I honestly, definitely this offseason, I do want to do a little bit of a deep dive into like the process and determine how much of it really was just like good variance versus like no great process. I definitely expect there to be a patch regardless in terms of the pricing on first tutties next year, but we fucking cooked, boys. Like, not to pat myself on the back too much, but it was just so much fun knowing that like we bet 5 first touchdowns a week and we hit like 2 of them, plus another 10 to 1 parlay, plus some other stuff. And these first touchdowns we're talking about were like at least 10 to 1, sometimes 20 to 1, sometimes 30 to 1, not like CMC at plus 320. Yeah, quick flex. Sorry, boys. Booty is interesting here. Is this better than Prop Professor or OzJam in your opinion? Different tools, different skills. Better than OJ? I think, yeah, at this point, because of the customizational aspect. Like OJ still, I think, lacking. While they're better in certain things, I think OJ's general like EV is not as strong as Pick the Odds. And then you compare it at price ranges. Honestly, enough said right there. Prop Professor is interesting case study because they have a different feature suite with the DFS. So if you're a DFS player, just as much of a sports better, and I mean DFS as in DraftKings Pick Six, better prize picks, not straight lineups only. If you do that more or as much as you sports bet, then Prop Professor probably is better because that's what you're looking for. It's going to help you maximize your earn, and it is a lot cheaper. And you do have the customizational aspects. However, PTOs is quicker on updates. It's quicker on live. And the customization is like, I think while it does have the same functionalities, like don't quote me on this because I need to do another deep dive, but like, I just feel like I'm not seeing like direct. Like you would think if you filtered something the same way, even though it's on two sites, but the same exact filters, it would be the same exact EV. We know that EV is obviously like in the eye of the beholder. There's different ways to skin the cat. So, sorry for the long-winded answer. I would say definitely better than OJ at this point. Prop Professor really does come down to where you're betting most of where your edge comes from. If your edge comes more from a mix, then Prop Professor is the move. If you are really just straight betting and you're looking for live and some quicker stuff, and like that speed is the difference between you being able to get down, a really legitimate sum of money on something versus to maximize an edge versus miss it out, then like, yeah, there's no contest. I should probably run a new speed test. Honestly, that's a great idea though. That just gave me some ideas right there, bro. So I appreciate that. Where confirmed speed test because people make claims, companies make claims, everybody makes claims. I see some quick stuff on times. I get some stuff in. There's times I miss stuff. Was it user error? Was it speed? Like the tool just not being quick enough? Like I can't answer that question with 100% certainty. I don't think most people could. But it'd probably be a fun exercise to try to figure out there. Little Jordan, 50 to 1. Mac at 20 to 1. I mean, if we had a circa at like 10, I'd be betting that. But, welcome back, Mac Hollins. Obviously, we got the chalk duo here, Vermondre and Harvey. Now, Diggs fits our mold. We are only, plus 100 odds better than circa, but that's always great. We're at 10 to 1 for WR1. Now we know that. I guess you could probably make the argument that Hunter Henry's a WR1. Let me just go back to snaps quickly. I'm not going to share my screen. I'm just going back to targets one more time out of curiosity. So it was Diggs at 102 on the season, 85 catches. Henry 87 for 60. Okay, so yes, Diggs is the WR1 despite obviously the heavy use for Hunter Henry, who I'm going to say Stephon Diggs, and 10 to 1 might as well bet at MGM if you can because of the second chance promo. If you can't, no big deal. But might as well have the promo work for you if it doesn't impact anything else here. But let me just confirm this price. Yeah, I'm betting Diggs for my chief for my Patriot. 10 to 1 price, better than circa. Wide receiver 1, yes, Surtain, yes, all the other things you want to call out. Talking about 10 to 1 bet, and hell yeah, we're betting first touchdowns. We're kind of regardless because only 3 more games to bet first touchdowns in this season, boys. As much as that is a lot, enough to make a grown man cry right there, boys. But guess what? There'll be baseball to bet on. There's basketball to bet on, and there will be football to bet on before we freaking know it again. But let me get this into the tracker as always quickly. Sorry, boys. All right, very nice. All right, so we're in on Diggs. Let's find some more. Oh shit, the snow is calming down even more now. East Coast right here. Nice, gotta go shovel after this freaking session and then watch football. All right. Now for a Bronco here. Can use the boost too. Don't want to forget that, especially the FanDuel touchdown. Torn between Colby and Higbee rec yards. Yeah. I think Diddy want me to pull up to help you decide. I after we bet these first, I'm down to dive in Biz and do a run through with you to help the decision making process because I genuinely don't have any like upfront thoughts here. But okay, this is going to be very interesting. Stidham, we know nothing. We know Sean Payton is going to do a great job of scheming up some easy stuff for him. We know that Vrabel and Co is going to be ready and like going up good pressures. They're going to try to get Stidham off of his game. We know that. That being said, now we have a complete unsure of who is going to even get some love. Now Sutton, obviously, you could probably assume would be the most likely guy because him and RJ Hardy for the obvious reasons, but pricing wise, we can't do it. I don't feel strongly enough to overrun our pricing. Evan Ingram just doesn't get the love in the red zone because they run the ball and they spread it. But like Ingram is so athletic and like still a talented player. So like he is interesting at 25-1, but he doesn't get the red zone love, like I mentioned. Lil Jordan, I mean, it's just a long shot out of hell. Marvin Mims has been kind of corrected too much. Pat Bryant, honestly, even though it's not the best price and it kind of defeats our general purpose, like when we're talking playoffs, one game, Pat Bryant is up there for me, honestly, in terms of like, I think that's my bet. Let's do a quick FTN look. Let's get New England out of here. Too much Patriots time. Quick look on Denver. Again, new quarterback, new everything. Don't need to reiterate the context that we already have stored in the back of our brains here, but still worth thinking about and considering here. Okay, team Den. And just again, we did this last week. We've done this looking at props. We're just trying to see what the end zone has really looked like for this team. And we're lagging. Come on. Not the time. There we go. FTN's footer for anyone who is curious. Come on, let me scroll, man. What's going on? All right, we're back. Okay. End zone targets Sutton, Franklin. Like this is all year qualified. Just not throwing the ball in the red zone whatsoever. Not in the end zone either. Pat Bryant to Troy Franklin. So it's Franklin we know has been the guy. Let's go back to his price though. He's not playing. Mims, Ingram, Lil Jordan. I mean, this is just the Sean Payton experience with this squad. You don't have a guy like a Mike Thomas. This is you literally just do not know who is going to be getting there. I mean, Troutman is definitely worthwhile. What's Adam Troutman? He might be the answer to our problem here. A deep down the board 60-1. That's just not good enough, unfortunately. Because if it was the other way around, where it's other books were at 60-1, circles at 40-1, I would definitely bet that. But not the case. Jaleel, I'm like out on that experiment per se. If we're going straight pricing, which we're never going to be wrong with, then Lil Jordan checks out. I mean, we're obviously talking about massive long shots, but that is the pricing. That being said, I kind of like Pat Bryant. I don't know why necessarily. I mean, he played 8.5% of snaps in that game. Lil Jordan's the one who got the burn and turned up. I guess it's Lil Jordan at 80 to like based on the pricing, bro. He's 42-1. He played 63.4% of the snaps. Not the second on the team for wide receivers, and he's the one who's still getting priced. Like maybe I don't know if I read something wrong. I know. Don't get me wrong. I know that Lil Jordan Humphrey doing what he did last week is not probably indicative of what's actually going to happen with him and moving forward here. But I'm betting that. I'm not gonna lie. So Humphrey at 50-1 at MGM, and Stephon Diggs first touchdowns for first game. I would think the Denver receivers versus any defense, but it's the QB. Yeah, that's the uncertainty. That's where, again, we're either getting some great prices right now or we're getting priced to a point where we don't even know the difference. But either way, Yes, I do agree with the premise, and that's kind of the game we're playing right now is the uncertainty game, which we understand we probably planned for realistically or anticipated here. Cooper Cup, no. Tay at circa, even Tay at like 8-1, honestly intriguing. I'm not gonna lie. Even though it's not great to circa, but it still is intriguing nonetheless. KW, Puka 8-1. So they're like, because of how good Puka and Tay is, like obviously Tay got that bump early, but not Puka when it's win or go home season. They just feed the top 3 receiver in football, and how can you blame them? At this point, this is the first touchdown just because we're done. The season's over. Ferguson, just from pricing, I mean, actually, Kalshi, no. Shaheed, because he can return one, is actually interesting. I'm ripping Shaheed. Obviously, I don't expect another opening kickoff return to change things. And also, of course, that was DST as well. But Shaheed, let me just check Barner quickly. Yeah, I think Shaheed, I know he's like definitely not even used as much as Barner by any means, but he has more, I think, overall potential. So I'm going with Rashid Shaheed first touchdown for my Seahawk. Let me just confirm the pricing here. Yep, 20-1 at MGM. We're not going to be beating Circa, but it is what it is. 0.1 units on all of these because these are first touchdowns, high variance. Okay. And last but not least, here a Ram, Ferguson, and Parkinson and Higbee. We got them all here. Higbee price at circa is just makes it unbettable here. Let's do an EV run. And we can use the FanDuel boost on a first touch. Let me confirm that because maybe that could be the answer to our problems there as well. And just take a chalk with the boost. Let me just confirm you can do that. NFL. Like if we just took Puka with this boost for first, you can't. It's anytime only. Okay. Good to know. Did we use it? No, we have one reward, anytime touchdown wager. Okay, so we'll still be getting to that as well. Can't use it on the boost. Can't use it on a first touchdown, so that's good to know. But that being said, okay, now we're seeing a little bit of value here. With that being said, on DK, what do we have again? Clear all. Oh, wait, we just got a first touchdown boost? 30% boost, first TD on the Patriots. Are they kidding? Is it a flash boost? Because I definitely did not see that before, but now there's a boost there. It's so annoying, bro. I think we have a straight bet boost. We do a 20% all-purpose boost on DK, so we're going to utilize that as well. That could be for a first touchdowns, and right, let me confirm. Now we're talking. Now we could probably bet some Puka. Yes, there we go. Okay. Let's go back to that screen here. Rip through these final plays and then call it a day. Gotta get shovel in. Annoying. Is what it is. Player prop. First Huddy. Seven to 1. Okay. Then with the boost here on this all-purpose boost. CD score first, Puka Nacua 7 to 1. Brings us to plus 840. Best in market, not by a ton though. So let me just do a KW check. Because it just is about pricing now. If we do it with KW, we're at 570. So it's better, even higher expected value to market. So that's enough said for me, honestly. I'm betting KW with the boost plus 570. Beautiful. Okay, so first touchdowns for both games. We have, let me get to my tracker here. We have KW with the boost. We have Rashid Shaheed. Then we have Little Jordan Humphrey and Stephon Diggs. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so last but not least here, let's bet this FanDuel touchdown boost, and then we'll get ready for the day. Don't expect any EV to pop up. We bet the Seahawks. I told you my thoughts on the Broncos, Patriots. Let's get this last boost on. I mean, again, there's another 30% boost we could use on another first touchdown if we want to. Definitely just use that something else I took earlier. Did not see that before. I think they just gave that flash. I don't need to bet another mixed SGP of that shit. I might bet, honestly. Let's do this. Let's find FanDuel touchdown. We'll do one 2-legger to 10-1, just one long shot 2-leg TD. Then we'll call it. Player prop. Anytime TD. This is FanDuel, ideally, for best price here. We could do a 2-legger. So guys like 2-leg for a 2-legger, as long as it does get to 10-1. Out on Pop Douglas. I kind of really do like Drake May. I think I'm going to actually add and include Drake May. I think that enough said. I love Drake May. We're getting EV on Drake May touchdown. I think it's always going to be a good look as well. All things considered, the kids freaking going to the Super Bowl or trying to. Yeah, give me all of that, Drake May. With the boost, 388. Yeah, that's honestly, I don't know what we're waiting for. Done. Drake May plus 388 on any time with the FanDuel boost. That's again, honestly, I don't know what we're waiting for. I know we saw that earlier. Just had to process it at our own time. When are you starting NBA prop picks? You don't mind asking. So I streamed with my buddy Ryan, who's also very sharp, last Tuesday, not this past one, 2 Tuesdays ago, to get the NBA started. But then we had some nonsense pop up. I had some nonsense pop up on Tuesday, so I couldn't stream. So 100% Tuesday, Ryan and I will be streaming for NBA props. And then the schedule that we'll lock into and commit to for the next 2 to 3 months, I need to figure out and confirm and commit to it and tell you that on Tuesday. But Tuesday, absolutely be there, be square. Also, I got to figure out timing for you guys, boys. Like, I don't know, like, I want to have timing so I can make some clips and have some social posts, but also want a live viewership and want you guys, especially the ones who have been there with me all this season long. Like, I'm taking the channel to the moon, but the guys who have been with me, like, you're coming. And I'm trying to optimize for you as well as for, growth and expanded viewership. But, like, the boys who've been with me since day one, when we're going up to 10K, 100K subscribers, we're, you guys are getting priority in anything that I do. 2-legger. I think, honestly, Drake May, I'm keeping him in the slip. I'm going to build out a slip on DK and FanDuel because we'll see which book has the best price, but I think Drake May, a little bit more May exposure on a touchdown, I'm honestly interested in. And we find one more leg here in the second game and call it. So, yeah, let's go to Rams Seahawks, who is a respectable TD score here from pricing, of course. Like, Tay's not going to get us to 10-1. The goal is to get to 10-1. I'm being entirely transparent that we're going for a long shot here. Even though if a 9-1 could hit, I don't care. I don't want it right now. So we need to get a little creative there. Not really, honestly. I mean, it just can't be chalk. We just have to pick the non-chalk that scores, which is obviously easier said than done here. If it even happens, that's not even a guarantee for obvious reasons here. Damn, it really is tough to find somebody deep down the board, as we know. It's been the MO of both these teams as their funnels all year long. I've had some good long shots. Of course, other people score. We know how it goes, but funnels is the best way to describe both of these teams. I mean, the Parkinson's a little interesting, honestly. Let's do a quick FTN. Let's get LA in here. Let's get LA. This is full season. This is postseason. Postseason targets, easy. It's been Parkinson. and snap-wise. So now we're getting Parkinson. Did I miss any news? That's obviously always the next question you ask yourself. So I'd be lying if I said I was on top of my news stuff just this week, just because, like I said, like once those Texans lost, and not because I was like mad at the Texans when they lost, like, but once they lost, this is the first time, honestly, since I don't even remember when, at least 5 years, where I haven't had an active future of any kind at this point in the season. And it's also the first time, not my first season working in sports and in football, where I've been working every single weekend and week for 21 weeks. But it's been more intense this year, I feel like. Just been more work, all good work. Don't get me wrong. All saying this is in a good way, not complaining. But like because I have no futures pending, I'm definitely a little bit burnt out from football now. Like my season has ended. Now it's all fun, cherry on top, but like I'm gonna miss football. Talk to me in 3 weeks when I'm on stream, or Super Bowl's in 2 weeks. Talk to me in a month after the Super Bowl when we're on stream. You're gonna be like, "Yo, you still over football?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not. Why are we not watching football? I miss it so much." But as it stands right now, my season is honestly over. Let's hit a fun bet today. Walk into the sunset. Obviously, we'll bet some Super Bowl stuff. It's NBA season. It's CBB season. MLB season's almost here. Monologue over. I'm adding Parkinson to this. So that's the long shots. May Parkinson on DK at 1622. On FanDuel, it is 16. Mike muted. Super Bowl predictions: Seattle and Denver. Not enough to go balls to the wall and actually bet that. That being said, we bet Seattle. So I do really think Seattle should take care of business. I expect them to be in the SB. And I mean, I might as well build it out on MGM quickly first as well. But Parkinson and May, two-legger here. Come on, this website is just the slowest always. It just blows my mind. Dog shit book, dog shit website, dog shit price. Okay. All right, boys. I appreciate you all. I will be on stream definitely Tuesday. And again, I'll have my confirmed schedule for the next, again, couple of months on Tuesday as well. Also have a tool review video in the queue to get done, a short form and a long form. So be sure to stick around for that. If you guys enjoy the stream, hit the like button. Also, hit that subscribe button. I've been seeing you get some really great growth, and this next couple of months is going to be crucial. Love the support from all you guys. It really does make me want to continue to do this. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Plays run through real quick. Seattle -2.5, only real straight bet I have and am going to have. SGP, FanDuel boost, Stevenson 50+ rush, Hooper 10+ receiving, Seahawks money line, Walker over receiving yards. DK touchdown boost, chalk, Walker, Harvey, Stevenson. First touchdowns for the Patriots Broncos, Diggs and Humphrey. First touchdowns for the Rams Seahawks, Shaheed and Walker. FanDuel touchdown boost on Drake May. Two-legger, 10-1, May, Parkinson, anytime touchdown. Just fun for today, boys. Well over a 30-unit NFL season. So we ride into the sunset and we try to start planning the money to be made in other markets, which I've been slow to the party too, but we'll get there. No concerns from me ever. I appreciate you all. If you're in an area with storm, be safe. Appreciate you all. Have a good one, boys. Peace.